All right, what's up, guys and gals? Bonafide Hustler here, coming to you live from my office. Hopefully, you can hear me. Let me know. I'm kind of just doing this the old school way with old school YouTube studio. Anyways, if you can hear me, let me know. There should be a live chat as well. But yeah, here we are in the office, and we're going to be talking about some cool thrift store tips in relation to selling on eBay. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Chris. I reside in Austin, Texas. I'm also known as the Bonafide Hustler. I've been making videos for 6 years here on YouTube. And basically what I love to do is resell used goods that I predominantly find at thrift stores and garage sales. And I put these used goods on eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, Antique Booth, Facebook Marketplace, and other consignment avenues in town. So hopefully you can hear me. Let me know. Comment down. Should be a little comment thing to the right. And yeah, okay. So I got a little $5 snowball microphone here. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it still has a $5 price tag on it. Just about most of the things that I own in real life are thrifted, most of them. And yeah, so this thing is just chilling right here. That was one of the best finds ever. So let me shout out a couple people that are here. We have Hustle Man, Harry Tornado, Rhythm J, Donatella, Edgar, and Harry Tornado again. Okay, and it shows, cool, we've been live for about a minute and a half. Okay, so that's what's up right now. And also, while you're watching this video, if you're wondering like, hey, I kind of want to learn about some interesting items that I can find on, thrift stores and yard sales and swap meets and garage sales, and maybe you want to start making some extra money, because that's really what started me in the whole thing. Was I almost accidentally stumbled into doing this and made some really good money. In fact, I had a really good job 16, 18 years ago, and I found out about this, and I really loved it a lot. It made me a lot of good money, and it was just a lot of fun. So, and it's something that you can pick up tomorrow, this weekend. So go check out bonafidehustler.com, and there should be a free guide that pops up on the screen. You can get that free guide, and it'll put you on my awesome email list too. And I do send out some pretty cool things on that email list. Okay. So what is up to everyone here? What's up, A&M Hunter? Good to see you. So the very first tip I want to get to in relation to thrift stores, before we get to the first tip, if you love thrift stores, not only should you smash the like buttons, but just put in, I love thrifting. That's all I want to see people put in. If you love to thrift, I'm not talking about garage sales or anything, but if you love thrifting, going to Goodwill, Salvation Armies, Habitat for Humanity, what other ones are there? Savers, Value Village. I mean, there's like a million of them. Yeah, there's just a bunch. Thriftland. So if you love going thrifting, just say, I love to thrift in the comments. That way I know you're here. So my very first tip is, honestly, this is kind of like big thinking, but before you go thrifting, just make sure you want to go thrifting, right? Because there's nothing worse than being pressured to go thrifting, or maybe things aren't selling very well. And so you're just like, I got to go thrifting to alleviate this problem. And that's not good. Let me shout out A&M Hunter, who just super chatted me. It's $20, $19.99. Dig in the vids, and come on, hit the like button, everybody. Thank you so much, A&M Hunter. That is awesome. So yeah, make sure you want to go thrifting at first, because that's one of the things when I go thrifting, I make 100% sure, you can see it through the vlogs and the ride-alongs that I film, that I won't go if I don't feel it. Right. And if I'm midday and I'm thrifting and I'm not feeling it, I am really guarding my money extremely hard. So I have to be pumped up to go thrifting. Sometimes it's spontaneous, but a lot of times it's thought about like the day before. And I'm like, I'm going to go thrift tomorrow and I'm going to film. It's a much different kind of thing being a creator and doing it, because a lot of times I find good stuff. And so I want to make sure I capture that on video. But you guys that are not creators out there, just make sure you want to thrift, because when you want to do something, it's really amazing how many opportunities start to present themselves to you, or how more optimized you make your route, for example, or you start thinking like, I'm in this part of town, like what are all the opportunities that I can do around here, whether it be a pawn shop or thrift stores or whatever, resale consignment places. You really get primed. And so the very first thing is super bird's eye view is like, make sure that you really want to go thrifting. Okay. Don't go thrifting under pressure. Don't go thrifting because you had a bad week, and don't go thrifting because, you're trying to look for items to resell on eBay, when the reality could be that there could be a much larger underlying problem, or maybe you have some things at your house that you can, resell. There's so many things that we all have. I mean, we are a nation full of stuff. George Carlin, right, famous comedian who's not living anymore, but he said that houses are just big, giant covers for our stuff. And it's true. It really is. So, yeah, so prepare before you go in and make sure that you have your head in the game. Also, very important, I don't know about you guys out there, but here in Austin, Texas, Goodwill has surveys on the back of their receipts. So you can go do a survey, and basically it's the same code for the entire month, it seems. So do your surveys ahead of time. It saves 10%, which is basically tax and then some. So anytime I buy something from Goodwill, I'm getting it at 10% off. So that's very important. Also be cognizant of coupons. So like in my micro space pod spaceship, my escape pod, I have 20% off saver coupons just chilling there. So that is really good. It's just waiting, you know what I'm saying? But it's there. It's not sitting at my house. I'm not going, where the hell are my coupons? Oh, they're on my desk. That sucks because I'm sitting here looking at something pretty expensive in the glass case at Savers, and that coupon would have really rocked right now, So you have to make sure that you're prepared for those kind of things. Let me shout out my buddy Harry Tornado right here. What's up, Josh? He says, I was laid off from my job about a month ago, and I decided to go full-time reselling and YouTubing now. So far, so good. Thanks for the inspiration. Well, that's good. Sorry about being laid off, but honestly, sometimes really amazing things come in odd packages, and sometimes being laid off could be the greatest thing that ever happened to you. So, yeah, Josh, hit me behind the scenes because there are a couple books I want you to read that I think are going to help you out later in life. So, and one of these books I just wrapped up on the plane back from Charlotte. One of the most amazing books I've ever read. If you're going to become an entrepreneur, you must read this book. So I won't tell you what the book is here, but maybe I will create an email for the people on my email list and let them know too. So, okay. Make sure you also know the color, that are corresponding to the days. Salvation Army, for example, on Wednesdays has half off clothing for clothing and housewares and brick and brack, things like that. All other days besides a Wednesday have color codes to them, right? Same thing with Goodwill. Goodwill, at least here in Austin, Texas, has a 50% off color-coded tag. I usually never find anything that has that color tag, but it's just one of those things that you should be cognizant of. I've also gone to thrift stores, and let me know if you've been to thrift stores like this, but you go in and it's like this huge board of like 20% off green tags, 50% off purple tags, 30% off yellow tags, 15% off like brown tags. It's so annoying. I'm like, I don't get it, but some thrift stores are like that. It's crazy. So yeah, there are a lot of people that are sitting here in the feed. Also, if you have a chance to comment, and I ask this frequently on my ride-along vlogs, but where are you guys from? Let me know down in the comments. Comment, where are you guys from? I'm curious. I got a message today on email, was it? I don't know, but I got one from someone in UK or Amsterdam. I don't know. Maybe it was Tokyo. It was crazy. It was super far. So yeah. So let's recap real quick. Before you even get into the thrift store, make sure you have your head in the game. Before you get into the thrift store, make sure you have your coupons in line. They're either in your wallet or they're somewhere close. They're not sitting at home. And before you get to the thrift store, make sure you really understand the color corresponding to the day, if anything is on sale, that kind of stuff. And it's also good to know that, like we all live in a society full of stuff, and we can all donate stuff. So the best place that I like to donate stuff is Savers, because they give 20% off coupons as well. They used to give 30% off coupons. They used to actually have a little punch card thing. They don't do that anymore. They used to have just straight up, well, I had the hookup, but 30% off, yeah, I guess I had a hookup. That's just what it is. But now it's just down to 20%, so it's pretty crazy. All right, it looks like the furthest that we have right now, the furthest reach of these people that are watching me right now, Australia looks like the furthest one. People are asking about, where's Whitney at? She's at dinner with a friend. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And Amir says, it's pretty cool how you are helping out with all the tips and tricks to succeed. And he goes, with a dopio. That's good. I like that. Really like that. Okay. So now Now, Bonafide Hustler is in the thrift store, right? I'm outside. I've thought about everything. And I go, okay, I'm ready to go thrifting. Got my coupons. Kind of know the idea of like the color of the day, whatever. I'm going in. Do I get a card or not? I don't know. Depends on what the wheels look like. Do you watch my vlogs? Okay, so I'm in the thrift store now. All right, I want to give you some tips of like my favorite places to go within a thrift store. So the very first one, take a guess. No surprise. When I was in North Carolina for 5 days, was it? Sold 7 items on eBay. One I could not locate. Wow, I know. Even the Bonafide Hustler has problems. So I got 99 problems, and finding this one pair of shoes was definitely all 99 of them. But yeah, I sold 7 items technically, but really shipped out 6. But in looking back, 5 of the 7 items were shoes. All right, shoes. So profitable genre number 1, of course, is going to be shoes. I like focusing on men's shoes and then women's sporty shoes and women's like mid-calf kind of boot. Think Fry, think things like that. But yeah, that's what I like to focus on. Another good brand for women's boots would be Resell, but those are a little bit more rare. Now, in the men's genre, I am looking at everything, whether it be golf shoes, running shoes, trail running shoes, military boots, tactical boots, hiking boots, mountaineering boots, sports sandals, river crossing sandals. I'm looking at pretty much everything. So yeah, and I have built a guide on shoes. Who has my guide? In fact, here's your next assignment. In the comment feed, if you have one of these guides, which one do you have? I said these guides. I'm not going to say which one it is. Which one of my guides do you have? And what do you think of it? Let me know. So shoes, number 1 profitable genre that you got to check out are shoes. Very, very important. Even with these price increases across the board in most thrift stores, I can still find crazy good deals on shoes. All right. So I would assume that probably you guys too, because I live in a town where people are pretty smart about pricing things. And so if it's gone up here, it's probably gone up in other places. But, it is what it is. If I can make it happen, I'm sure you can as well. So I have found profitable shoes from coast to coast. San Diego, profitable shoes. Go to freaking Charlotte, profitable shoes. Like some of the most podunk thrift stores in Charlotte or the outskirts of Charlotte, you can find amazing shoes. Here in Austin, I find great shoes, but I also live here. When I was out in Durango, found some good shoes there, but also found some really other good stuff too. But yeah, shoes. You know what I'm saying? Bentonville, Arkansas, Fayetteville, all those places. Found shoes. It's all good. What is another profitable genre that I look for? Outerwear. Outerwear is really, really good. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, outerwear is crazy. And I'm talking about, high-grade pants and high-grade jackets. So, yeah, pants are pretty cool. Snowboard pants, certain ski pants, even Gore-Tex pants, which are not ski or, anything related to winter. They do make those, by the way. And then outerwear, raincoats, down jackets, chore jackets, barn jackets, all kinds of jackets like that. Goatskin jackets, leather jackets, bomber jackets. Yeah, stuff like that. So I look for that kind of stuff in outerwear. Another profitable genre, you guessed it, bags. Bags are awesome. If anybody sits there and goes, bags are dumb, I think you might be. Never mind. You know what I'm saying. Bags are really good. Bags make me money. I also made a guide on bags. Who's got bags to bucks? I'm going to go look in the feed right now. Looks like Dorky Thrifters has bags to bucks. That is cool. Who else has one of my guides? Oh, Harlan's Reselling Adventures. Hey, what's up, Harlan? Oh, I know you. Bags to bucks, thumbs up. Cool. Texas Brenda says, I have the shoe guide and I love it. Awesome. Kristen Springer, I have the shoe guide and it's worth it 100%. That is awesome. Katie Morgan says, I sold my first bag. She actually won some of my guides. That is crazy. What's up, Katie? Good to see you. And she said, shoes to bucks. I love it. Yeah, you can find all this stuff at bonafidehustler.com, just so you know. Okay, what else we got here? Electronics. Now, electronics are a little iffy. And it's iffy because it takes testing. Unlike shoes, unlike outerwear, which you can kind of look over right there in the thrift store, sort of test it and like look at it. Electronics are different. Electronics require electric current, right, of some sort, whether it be battery induced or from the plug on the wall. You're going to need some sort of electrical current to make electronics turn on, turn off. You know what I'm saying? So there are electronics that are worth money regardless of condition for them. You know, it just depends. Some of these electronics, regardless of condition, they still sell pretty well. Guitar Hero controllers for the Xbox 360. Most of those, even in pretty beat up condition, as long as they work, sell pretty well. Boom boxes, right? Ghetto blasters, boom boxes. I mean, how many times have you found one with a tape player working? It's really hard to find. But people still like them to put on a wall. They're nostalgic. They're not made anymore. And yeah, they're interesting looking, you know? So things like that carry inherent values even in bad conditions. But most electronics need to be tested, and most electronics are contingent upon working, right? So that's really, really important. Okay. More comments. I want to read these. These are really good. I don't ask too many times to see these, but Evan Salveson says the shoe guide was paid for with one flip. Cool. And then Bags to Bucks Hustle Man says has helped me expand Bags to Bucks, and he's expanded his shoe game with the other guide, I guess. Cool. Fire Josh is saying eBay is dying in 2019. My sales are way down. You know, I could honestly say by now my sales are probably about equal. No, they're higher than last year. I've also put a little bit more emphasis on eBay than last year. So, anyways, what other genres are good? Sporting goods. Sporting goods are really awesome. In fact, one of the things that I sold while I was in Charlotte over the weekend was a $6 lacrosse helmet that sold for $120. So just an idea of some of the things that I look at when I'm in the sporting goods section. I'm looking for tennis rackets, lacrosse helmets, baseball gloves, baseball bats, certain kinds of volleyballs, sporting goods bags like tennis bags, right? Insulated tennis bags. I'm looking for travel gear, more specifically the type that accommodates golf clubs. Very important. I look for golf clubs. I look for the thing that transports golf clubs around the course. So that's usually made by Bag Boy or some of these other brands. But yeah, they have like 3 wheels. They fold. They have an umbrella holder on them. Those kind of things. I don't look for too much football stuff. I look for baseball stuff. I do look for not too much soccer stuff either. But yeah, sporting goods in general. And if we can look at the biking thing as a sporting goods, that's fine too. You know, obviously bikes. But I believe when it comes to thrift stores, that the sporting goods stuff is just a really quick gander. You know what I'm saying? I also look for snowboard-related things, whether it be goggles or helmets or things like that. So caving helmets, really cool too. You can make some really good money on these things. It's not that you can make some really good money on these things. You will make some really good money on these things if you find them, but you have to know what to look for. All right. Now, so I've gone through some profitable genres and given you guys some tips, right? Now, I've got some stuff in my cart, and I'm at the checkout line, all right? And there are like 4 people in front of me. There is a cashier that is going super slow. And then there's another cashier looking over that cashier's shoulder, kind of telling them what to do. So now you can infer that someone's getting trained. The line is going really slow. I'm sitting there in line. I'm probably the 5th one in. What do? I have two choices. And here's a really good tip I can give you. One is you can get out of the line and go shopping. Really, really important. Because when the line gets big, a lot of times people call, like, I need some more people up front, blah, 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 blah. So then the line, usually 5 minutes later, is non-existent. So I'll go out of line and shop a little bit more. I'll see if I missed anything. I'll get really meticulous. So that's one tip I can give you. The second tip is really inspect your goods, all right? If you're on your phone on Instagram going, oh my gosh, like, look at all these Nike boxes that people are flipping in the background and all that, oh my gosh, and then you're like hearting post and all this stuff. And then lo and behold, you get home and there's like a hole in your Lululemon garments, or there's a hole, or there's like, you know, a bent antenna from an iffy boombox in the first place. You know, these are the things that you should have found while you were in line, right? Or you get home and you're looking at your shoes and you realize, oh my gosh, it's delaminating. These are the things you should have done at the thrift store, right? It's not the end of the world if you find things like this when you're home, but it's just another variable that shouldn't really be there. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be there. It's a hassle. And the only way you're getting your money back is if you sell that good for a flat, or if you happen to be in the same kind of place, around that same kind of place in town the next 7 days, and maybe you can return it, assuming they have some sort of return policy. So something to consider. When you see a big line, you shouldn't really stay in line ever. It's not smart. Okay. All right, Kristen Springer for $10. It's not thrifting related, all right? But she says, "How are you so hot? Just getting your attention. Thank you for being real. Much appreciated. Don't think we don't see that. Thank you." It's not a thrifting comment, but that's okay. I'll take it. Thank you so much for $10. That's the first time I've ever got that, probably live. Awesome. I'll take it. That's good. So this calls for going into the feed and answering your questions right now. We're at the 20-minute mark, and I'd like to answer questions for maybe 20 more minutes. So Lisa's saying, wow, LOL. Yeah. TY Hipstar, what is up? And by the way, TY Hipstar, or Ty Hipstar, I guess that's his name, uploads a lot of cool thrifting videos. And definitely give this person a watch. It's got cool thumbnails, good content, and really reminds me of me back in the day, you know, like putting in a lot of effort into a YouTube channel. So go give TY Hipstar or Ty Hipstar a look, you know, go check it out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So he's sitting right there in the feed. You can click his avatar and you can go subscribe to that channel. Evan Salveson, eBay CEO resigning. Will things change, do you think? Look, anytime anyone's gone, things are going to change. But here's the thing. Even if the person was to stay, things are changing, right? And we don't know. Ultimately, the most that you can do are the things that you're in control of, right? The number one thing I did differently back in October of last year. So now we're almost a year, all right? And this is one thing that I did differently because I didn't like the eBay constraints. I didn't like what I was seeing on the radar. I started listing a lot of my items double and triple, meaning I put some of the same items that are on eBay locally, all right? Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, because I needed diversification. And quite honestly, after doing about 100 listings, you know, cross lists, I started to figure out what really sells in my market and what really sells on eBay and what needs to be cross-listed, that kind of stuff. So I urge everyone out here to really, you know, think about these kind of things before going, you know what, deep in eBay, because just putting a bunch of items on eBay is no different than putting a million items on Amazon. Like, you're still at the mercy of Amazon. You know what I'm saying? You're still at the mercy of eBay as well. So it doesn't really solve anything if you're looking for a semi-passive or a really fun income stream. It is fun, but you have to keep things real. You know, it's a company that has to make money. It's a company that's not really with the times either. So the way they make money is by kind of stiffing the people that have really helped them build everything. But yeah, they're not really with the times. It's still a great platform to sell on, but I am definitely not like super confident about it. But when it's firing off, and the weirdest thing is it fires off in these weird spurts. I don't get it. I've tried to make sense of it, and sometimes I do make sense of it, but it just goes through spurts. I do buy good items. That's the thing. So I know it's not an item issue, right? I do have good items. Now I might ask a little high for some of my items, or many of my items, but I know I have good items. So I know it's not that. So maybe it's the pricing thing at that point or something. I don't know. But I am pretty good at looking at the markets when I price something as well, based upon the condition that I have in my hands. You know what I'm saying? Okay. let me say shout out to Katie Morgan. What's up? You're my friend behind the scenes. I talk to you every now and then. What up, Katie? Good to see you. $199. And by the way, if you hear this chair do this, this was a free garage sale chair. And it does make some really weird noises. You know what I'm saying? So can't help it. Just so you know, it is the chair. Okay, so we have some comments. Okay. Kristen Springer says, oh, okay, so her $10 super chat that wasn't thrifting related, but said that I was something, right? I was so something. Says, no, this was a compliment. I am married. Good. Awesome. Awesome. And she's writing other things. And you can look at that comment if you want. Yes. Thank you for the comment. That's a pretty good comment. Okay. Sand Sounds says, why is Whitney no longer in the videos? Well, Whitney has a professional job. And when I go thrifting during the week, a lot of times she's doing her thing. When I go on the weekend garage sailing, she usually shows up to the really busy weekends, which will be pretty soon. Outside of that, after a busy week, she likes to have a Saturday to herself or a Saturday morning to herself. I'm all good with it, whatever. So that is why she's no longer in the videos. Now, she does make a little bit more of an appearance on my other channel. You can check that out at Boddam, BODDAMN versus the Strella. It's a weird name, but it's called Boddam versus the Strella. So basically, it's like my fitness channel on the quest to find the ultimate flow state. So there was a video uploaded yesterday, and actually she is 95% of that video. So if you want to see more Whitney, go check out the fitness channel. Okay. Kenny Ran one says, yeah, Bonafide, I got to diversify. So yeah, there's so many ways to diversify. I'm not even going to even remotely talk about those. There's like a million ways to diversify. There's so many ways. Ty Hipstar says, does eMoney have his own channel? He does. But see, the thing about eMoney is he called it Easy Money. So you put Easy Money, trying to find anything Easy Money related on YouTube, you will never find his channel. And if you put Easy Money Garage Sale, you might find Easy Money's channel. And that's what eMoney stands for, is Easy Money. Problem is, Easy Money probably has like 5 million hits in YouTube. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right Brain Liz says, are you currently promoting your listings? Yes, I am. Trending rates, I exceed trending by 1 or 2% right now. You know what? Let's rewind. I think the campaign I'm doing right now is a 2.5% campaign. So I'm like exceeding trending rates in whatever category by 2.5%. That is what I'm doing. Okay. Katie Morgan says, have you seen the info about List Perfectly, a new cross-listing tool? I'm curious your thoughts. I have not seen it. I cannot shed light on that one. Kenny ran one. I got to do more local sales for the larger items I can get. Yeah, so like when it comes to larger items for me, I have 2 ways of getting rid of those things. If it's a vintage, antique, or retro item, I got the antique booth, which is great. Yesterday, the antique booth made me like $117. What sold to make me $117? A chair, and I made like 93 off that, and then a fringe leather jacket. And I think I made 38 on that. So do the math. Yeah, 93, 38. I don't know, something around there. I probably made more actually, but that's okay. We'll just say 117. That's cool. It's not always like that though. The furniture is the big hitter in the booth. So whether it be mid-century modern stuff, lockers, wingback chairs, velvet chairs, stools, like the tractor stool that you might have seen in the previous vlog, that sold within like 4 days. Really odd things like that sell. Antlers, surprisingly, people buy elk antlers and deer antlers from my booth for 2 reasons, right? I found this out. I was like, oh, when you find antlers and it's like not both sides, it's just like one side. Dogs like to chew on those things. So that's pretty interesting. And then I think people like to make knives and tools out of those things, So they like to take a piece of that bone or the horn or whatever, and then they make a handle for a tool. So pretty interesting stuff. Very good stuff to have in the booth. Ty Hipstar says, I love the Boddam channel. Designed to fit lifestyle. That's right. So one of the things that most people don't know about right now is that I have a tester group of around 12 people behind the scenes going on for 2 of my workout programs. Now those 2 workout programs, they're called something and something, which probably won't be the names of them, but basically my 2 workout programs are being beta tested right now by 12 people. Steve Rakin's in there. So I'm trying to think if you guys know anyone else that's in that group. But yeah, a lot of cool people. About half of them I've met in real life, which is cool. And so, whether you're out there and you're reselling and having fun, a lot of times people have to address the real issue. And that is, your mindset. How's it going? And how's your fitness going? And the people that reached out to me behind the scenes on Instagram, I made one small mention of this group on Instagram, one, on a story. And it was one slide, one piece, probably didn't last longer than 10 seconds. And I got 13 people behind the scenes saying, I would love to test your product. So there are workout products being tested right now. And they're pretty fun, pretty cool. The same kind of programs that I've been doing. I mean, the exact ones. And yeah, I've been able to control my weight up, down, whichever way I want it, and it's great. I feel great. You guys see the vlogs. I'm not like weird and out of energy. That's just what it is. And I think life needs to be seized, right? We should have fun all the time. That's just what life's all about. So if you want to learn a little bit more about this stuff, go check out my other channel called Bod Damn. Pretty cool. If you put Bod Damn in YouTube, it should come up with the Bod Damn versus the Strellis channel. And you can go subscribe to it. Okay, what else we got here? Questions. I want to answer. Got 9 more minutes of questions. So let me know what's up. Thank you to all the people that did super chat me. I'm going to re-say your names real quick. Katie Morgan. We have Kristen Springer in the house that super chatted me some. So thank you so much again. And then we had Harry Tornado. What's up, Josh? Make sure you get behind the scenes with me. I'm going to tell you these 2 books. And then A&M Hunter. All right. A&M Hunter's like a super stellar fan. He gives me all kinds of good compliments. That is cool. Brian the Oak Brook Picker says, Bonafide, submit your resume for eBay CEO. I don't want eBay, guys. I don't want to revamp it. I just don't. I had a really cool idea. Well, maybe 5 years ago. I'll kind of let you know what it is. But I had an idea that we could have a thing called 5 Min, right? Stands for 5 minutes. This was my idea. Probably wasn't the best idea, but I'll share it with you anyway. So there's an app called 5 Min, and in 5 minutes, you can snap something random in your house. Let's just say that, I want to put this blue microphone on 5 Min right here. Okay, there it is. It's chilling. And 5 Min probably, let's say it's something that you can send off once it sells, or, preferably you just meet up with the person the very next day and you exchange cash. So my thought with 5 Min is you set a base minimum of what you're willing to let this thing go for. And let's say that my base minimum for this blue mic is $15. The market price of this thing is probably 40, maybe 45, but let's just say 15. Like tomorrow, I'd be cool with $15 in my hands. Someone comes to my house, cool. I put it on 5 Min, right? 5 minutes, the ticker goes 459, 458, blah, blah, blah. And it's at $15. And anybody can bid on this thing. Yeah, after 5 minutes, you're obligated to sell it for whatever, it sells for. So that's what I thought about. I thought it'd be kind of cool. And it's another way to just put money in people's hands when they need it really bad. Let's say, you're about to pay rent soon or can't make your car payment. You need money in the next 4 days. You can put some of the things on 5 Min, and there you go. You know what I'm saying? You can start raising cash pretty quickly, all without doing too many pictures and getting billed for listings or anything like that. And you only pay 5 Min if it sells and both people rate each other, something like that. Pretty interesting, right? Yeah. So I know that was one of my ideas 3 years ago, actually. In fact, I want to say it's on my idea board up there. It's still up there. I've got a bunch of cool ideas. Yeah, pretty interesting, I thought, idea. From zero to finish with a beta tested product, it's probably every bit of probably 20 or 30 grand, investment. So think that was the part where we didn't want to sort of move forward. But interesting, nevertheless. Okay. Kristen thinks it's a great idea. Jen Wagner, how many days do you thrift per week usually? All right, so I just came back from Charlotte. Got a lot of things going down right now. I think next week I'm going to start creating another guide. So I think so. Not 100% sure, but I think I will. And I'm probably going to dedicate every single day and every single hour to making that guide. But I'm not 100% sure yet. But the question is, how many days do you thrift per week usually? And the answer is usually 2 to 3. Yeah, 2 to 3. And in those 2 to 3, it's going to be about 2.5 to 3 hours. That's what the hot shot is. 2 hours of real thrifting, and then it's like 20 minutes going to the part of town where I need to thrift, 20 minutes coming back. And in those 20 minutes, I'm usually listening to a little bit of EDM or maybe a podcast. But I am learning somehow. So yeah, pretty interesting. So that's what I do per week usually. I've thought about going a little bit more, but the thing about this town is Monday is a pretty bad day to thrift because all the stuff's picked dry from the weekend, so that eliminates Monday. If we count Sundays, when I'm in Central Austin just getting coffee or laying out at the Springs or something like that, I'm always going to pass by a thrift store or two before I come home. I don't know if we count that or not. I am looking at your question and answering it based upon a Monday to Friday response. Everyone knows that I go to thrift stores and garage sales on a Saturday. Tomorrow I might go thrifting. I actually want to go thrifting tomorrow. But here's the thing. I do have a lot of things that, not a lot of things. I probably still have like 5 to 10 items that I need to list. And I think a lot of us have this thing too. I have 153 items listed on eBay. I have way more than 153 items in my garage that are packaged up and ready to go, which means some of these items have fallen off eBay. They were listed at one point and they just vanished. Not vanished from my garage. They're in my garage. They vanished from eBay listings. Somehow, over the months, don't know why, they just have. And so I need to slowly check certain ones that I'm like, I need to first spend about 10 minutes looking at my listings, memorizing them in my head a little bit, and then going to that box wall and going, all right, that box right there, was that part of my listings? And if I'm like, I don't think so, I'll do a little double check. And if it's not, I'll open up the box. I'll take out whatever is in the box, snap pictures of it, re-put it back in the box, and get that thing, listed again. Every one of us has these items. Every single one of us. I don't know why. I'm not going to pretend like I even know why. But some items just mysteriously drop off. And I feel as if I comfortably have maybe 20 items in that garage that are not listed, but they're all in boxes. So, interesting. Brian the Oakbrook Picker says, when you ended your listings and relisted them, so let's clarify this. When I ended my listings and relisted them on Sell Similar, did it help jumpstart your store? I'd say it did, So, yeah, it also matters to have, look, having good items is like the most paramount thing possible. If eBay, has something going wrong with whatever, if you have good items, you're still going to do okay. It's when you have bad items, I think you're going to find yourself struggling with eBay, right? So when I make, my guides, or when, like this group I have behind the scenes called The Green Room, we issue out BOLO lists every month that are really good. It's all curated, and it's all the members' BOLOs throughout the entire month. We compile them and make a guide and give it out to them. It's not a guide. It's like a link. And so, there are plenty of items like that are out there in the thrift stores. Plenty. There's so many. It's ridiculous. I choose to really understand the best ones based upon the genres I'm willing to spend some time rifling through. Women's clothing, for example, I'm not super excited about it. Blouses, that kind of stuff, Coldwater Creek stuff, BB or whatever, that I'm just not that excited about it. I'm not. Not to mention that the markets are kind of not dry. If you're into, you know, making $10 on something, that's cool. I'm looking at making $50 on things or more, you know, and that requires me to look for much higher grade items. And so when I'm at the thrift stores, I'm looking for higher grade items, and usually higher grade items have better markets. And so if you can train yourself and train your eye to look for higher grade items, then I think over time you will panic less inside and you will feel better about what you're thrifting, right? So yeah, very, very important to note that I'm not the best thrifter in the whole entire world, but I can definitely hold my own against anyone in the country. Like, I'm good. Like, that's the thing. But I'm also good because I stick to my guns and I look for certain things. I could buy carts full at a thrift store if my bare minimum was $10 or $20. I could buy carts full. I could. But then I would be working 40 hours a week on eBay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would be working 40 hours a week. I wouldn't have all this extra time to do all this other fun stuff that I like to do. And I'm not talking about going outside and playing and like mountain biking all day long. Like, no, like I'm actually having fun really getting this fitness thing up and running and helping, especially males right now, kind of like realize their fullest potential and to turn their lives around. And it makes me really happy inside. So, you know, but I still have a huge, huge love for thrifting. And I think you can't make that up, right? Look at the vlogs. I'm having fun, spending time with my brother. It's just fun. I love it. And I love it because I train myself to look for higher grade items. It's just what it is. It's because I'm not drowning in stuff all day long. I'm actually like excited to list these items that I have. Even if it's, you know, finding 3 a day or 5 a day, I think it's much better than coming home with 40 $10 profit items or $20 profit items and then dealing with 40 potential customers, 40 more boxes. I'd much rather deal with, you know, a tinier amount and do less work and have more fun. Okay. Oh, there's College Picker in the chat. What is up, dude? Good to see you. Brian, the Oak Brook Picker, the fitness thing could be huge for you. Best wishes. Thanks. That's right. I think it's going to be. It's not that it could be huge. It's big for me right now. That's just the way it is. You know, like, I guess there are times to be cocky in life. Maybe today's one of them. But I'm good at what I do when it comes to fitness. That is for sure. I get a lot of people in the gym asking me about my routines, like diet, like, all the time. To the point where I think some people in my gym do not like me. Like, and they're actually trainers. They don't like me at all. And that kind of gets to me a little bit. But what am I supposed to do about that? But yeah, they look at like my workout routines and they know how people are like asking me questions about them and stuff. And they don't like it. And I don't know what to do about it. I really don't. Because I'm not doing anything wrong. But let's talk about Linda Brooks. Linda Brooks says, eBay is oversaturated with women's clothing. Men's clothing is the way to go. Cool. So I'm not huge on clothing. I'm big on outerwear. I like outerwear and I like certain types of clothing. You probably won't catch me flipping any sort of button-down men's shirt unless it's like super high-grade stuff that I have to get my hands on, like massive embroidery, you know, panhandle slim or rock mount, something like that. Like, it would have to be so, CC Filson heavyweight flannel, like something like that in order for me to get there. For the most part, I'm not really going through most button-down shirts. T-shirts, that's a different story. I'll look around for a vintage T-shirt. In fact, it's in the other room, but I found one at the thrift store in Charlotte the other day. Pretty cool, little 1996 Biker Rally Gillies bar T-shirt. Really sick-looking shirt. Super awesome. Found one. I think it was, man, they kind of taxed high on that one. That was like $4 shirt. But found one that was pretty cool. And yeah, you know, I'll look for vintage T-shirts. I got an offer. Well, weirdest thing happened today on eBay. Well, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. I have a shirt on eBay. It's a tie-dye shirt. It's pretty awesome. And then while I was in Charlotte, this dude like just kept, like, offer me $50 for the shirt. I'm like, no. Offers 55 for the shirt. I'm like, no. Offers $60 for the shirt. I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't. And then his next thing is he offers like 60 again, and he says, what are the measurements? Okay. It's a t-shirt, so maybe I should put measurements, maybe I shouldn't, but you know, when I deal with sweaters or something like that, I'll put measurements, but t-shirts, like, it's a freaking 2XL. It's like, and I know it's not a shrunken 2XL, it's a 2XL. The person still wants measurements, whatever, and I was just like, forget it, decline offer. I didn't want to deal with it, and plus I was in Charlotte. Now, today, I got a $65 offer for the shirt. I accept the offer. I didn't make the connection that it's the same guy. And as soon as he, like, as soon as I accept the offer, I get a cha-ching, and then the guy goes, what are the measurements? I'm like, ah. So then I went to the garage, provided the measurements. But going back to my original point, that is, I will look in the t-shirt section for vintage rock band tees, vintage wrestling things, neon things for the 80s and the 90s, pop culture things. It really don't matter. Although when I find really good t-shirts, typically it's from garage sales. I mean, honestly. So that is one way that I will go rifling through and picking through things. When I look at the pants section, I look for basically cool and mountain khakis and mountain hardware stuff. That's basically it. And then when I'm in the jacket section, I'm looking for the obvious brands. The obvious brands. So, College Picker says, you're looking for vintage Bones Brigade. He was there at the garage sale. He knows about that one, where I found a vintage 80s Bones Brigade long sleeve shirt. Don't know what it sold for. I want to say it's like $129. I bought it for $6 at the garage sale. It was hanging up on the side of the garage, and I knew the logo pretty quickly. Commonwealth Picker says, hey, Bonafide Hustler, how do you decide between the booth and eBay on items like boots? It's a really good question. So eBay is really good for, and see, this is the thing. So like if you get the shoe guide, I kind of explained this a little bit. eBay is really good for two-tone boots that are really wild looking, or exotics, especially exotics. So if I got an exotic, meaning, caiman belly, stingray, smooth quill ostrich, full quill ostrich, elephant, goat skin, I mean, just all those kind of things, rattlesnake, lizard. So if I have something like that, it's more likely to go on eBay. If I have something like that, it has a little bit of a blemish and something's a little kind of weird, or if I flip it over and it has the underside of it has a tiny little, not a hole, but a very good wear spot, that's going to go to the booth. Any normal cowhide boots are going to go to the booth that are, from Tony Lama, Justin, even Ariat, and those other ones, no Kuna, like all those, if they're not two-tone, they're just single-tone, most of those are going to go to the booth. When it's a single-tone boot, or a two-tone booth, and it's an exotic, almost always that goes to eBay, because I'm going to be looking for $100 or more, period. I usually won't get into a boot and put it on eBay unless I can get about $100 or more for it. So that's how I decide between the booth and the eBay on items like boots. Items like boots. And I still need more boots for my booth right now. I was in the booth the other day, and it's got some holes, and I need to fill them with more boots. Mr. Pink says, dang, Bonafide, you're looking lean and mean. Thank you so much. I'm going to do it tomorrow in my accelerator group, which is this other group that I have. But yeah, I'm going to be doing one probably tomorrow. And maybe I'll put it on Instagram too. We'll see. If you can follow me on Instagram at BlodDam as well, which is pretty cool. So, all right, that pretty much does the show. Guys, I enjoy hanging out with everybody. Look, if you're sitting here and you're like, wow, I would like to learn more about some things, go to bonafidehustler.com. Check out all my offerings there. All right. I was just on the site this morning. It's working perfectly fine. Go check that out. Now, if you want some free stuff, you can go to bonafidehustler.com. And as long as you don't have pop-ups like turned off or whatever, there is a pop-up. And you can get my free guide, 50 used items that you can sell for profit. So yeah, go get that guide. It's pretty cool. I put some good work into that guide. It also puts you on the email list, which has the Cheddar report coming out every single mid-month. So I just issued out, I think, Cheddar report number 5 last month. I'm not mistaken, this month. So Cheddar report number 6 is coming up soon. And those are fun. Those are really fun. In fact, there is an item on the Cheddar Report that I think I'm going to sell for between $2 and $3 grand. I think. I don't know when, but it'll be soon. Probably within a month. It was an $80 item found on Nextdoor. And that was on the Cheddar Report. Everyone that's seen the Cheddar Report knows what the item is. It's a really cool item. One of a kind. Found on Nextdoor. And it was $80. It's probably going to sell between 2 and 3. That's my guess. But yeah, that was on the last Cheddar Report. Or the Cheddar Report before that. Cheddar Reports are pretty cool. They're basically like my newsletter, except they're like completely wacky and like really fun and full of pictures. And they're just cool. I like doing them. It takes me about 2 to 3 hours to make one, you know what I'm saying? But they're pretty cool. So go check it out. And any subscriber ride-alongs coming soon. Look, if you're in town on a Saturday and you can go fast, all right? You can go as fast as I can go and E-Money can go. We can go garage selling. Let me know and find a way behind the scenes to get in touch with me. But yeah, we usually don't anymore, but we will. But you gotta be ready to go super fast, right? That's the problem, is because the ride-alongs are fun. I like filming them, but they can get kind of slow. And in garage sale time, money's money. You know, I like making money. I like teaching too, but I like to go. I like to go fast. I want to give the person the experience of like what it's really like to go garage selling with me. And so I don't like to go slow. And when things go really slow and conversations get kind of dragged on, you know, I sometimes kind of wish it was just me. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, we can go. If you can go fast, we can go hustle. All right. Thanks for the $4.99, by the way. And that's pretty much it, guys. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. If you like this live stream, do me one solid favor right now and hit the like button. All right? That's all I'm going to ask right now. I'll see you next time. Take it easy. Goodbye.